Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot and we are once again standing in the Boeing 737 at Amsterdam Airport. So today is going to be a lovely little flight. We've got bad weather, strong gusts and ultra short haul route. So as you can see, it is really busy over here in Amsterdam already. Looking around, the apron we're standing in is pretty much full. Actually, I haven't seen the airport that busy in a very long while. But for today, our 737-700 is already being cleaned and catered so that we can get it up and running for our short trip over to Germany and then back. So, let's jump straight into the cockpit and let's get the airplane going. We're going to start flying from the captain's seat today, and then later on we might do the second sector from the first officers. So, light to the people, or power to the airplane, as you want to take it. And then we can start with our procedures. Don't be surprised if I'm running things a little bit quick here. We do have a departure slot, which we absolutely want to make today, because we do want to make the way back to Dusseldorf. For that reason, today things are going to run at the same speed at which we do them in the real airplane. And that might mean that things might be quick, but then again, it will give you an exact impression of how these things go in a real Boeing 737 and at the speed at which flight crews do work in the real plane. So that's probably going to be quite exciting, but if you cannot follow, then don't hesitate to put any of your questions in the chat below. I do aim to read as much of it as possible and answer as much of it as possible, but the given restrictions do apply. Alright then, so we have quite a special situation today in that it is really busy. And that means we might experience some departure delays and we might experience some, let's call it, rather lengthy arrival delays. However, to avoid catching up delay at Dusseldorf, we are going to load a little bit of extra fuel there, and for this little 30-minute flight, I'm going to make it 5 tons of fuel, and that is rather a lot for such a short flight in a 700. However, we do want to avoid running the delays, so for that reason we just take a little bit, because we have reason to believe that it is going to take a little while today. 131 passengers, just a little bit of cargo that we are going to take. And even just 128, since we do have business class in here. I totally forgot that. Not too much in the cargo holds as well. 450 kilos in the front and 50 kilos of radioactives in the back. And the latter, most important over here, because it means that we are going to put that just in the aft hold and not combine that with the stuff in the front. Alright then, G Walker, hi, nice to see you here in the chat. So let's go ahead then. We are going to start right over here with a 737-700 with a current IRAC 24K rating, and we're going to take the IRS position straight from here. So our routing is going to be Amsterdam to Dusseldorf. We do have a company route for that, and we are the KLM 97 Romeo today. Alright, so departure. Let's go ahead and have a look and listen to the ATC. That's going to be on 132.980. Here we go, 132.98, and make sure that we're actually listening to it as well.
Clouds. View at 1,400 feet. Scattered 1,600 feet. Temperature 2.17. QNH 999 hectopascal. No significant change. Operational report. Contact approach and arrival call sign only. Noise abatement and ATC procedures shall be applied. Acknowledge information Delta.
So, information Delta, we can write that one down already.
This is Schiphol information Delta. Main landing runway 22. Main departing runway 24. Transition level 45. Wind 210 degrees. 17 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Clouds.
Alright, so runway 24 for the departures, that is so noted.
Scattered 1,600 feet.
And that is basically what we wanted to know. So, runway 24 for the departure, and it's probably going to be the Undic to Sierra departure, I do believe, but let's be sure. And obviously, the very moment I try to load something like that, SimBrief crashes. Haven't had one of those in a long while, but you never know what you're going to experience, right? Okay, anyway, it is the Arnhem 3 Sierra that we're going to fly today, and into Dusseldorf probably going to be an ILS approach runway 23 right. And that is going to be the PSUP 1 Golf, aka the PSUP 23 transition, and that's it. Okay then, cost NX 30, reserve fuel for today's flight is going to be 2.4. Zero fuel weight is forecast at 52.8, even though I have a feeling it's going to become a little bit less, and cruising in flight level 170. It doesn't get much shorter than that, does it? Transition altitude 3001, and for the eyesight deviation that's +6, so we've got minus 12 degrees at the top of climb, and that's it. Okay, so for our engine out, we're going to use a 25-mile ring around Amsterdam, and that should be more than sufficient. Okay, very nice. So, very quick look onto the ground services. All the catering vehicles and everything have disconnected from the airplane now, and once the refueling is done, we can start loading up the luggage. In the meantime, we have the aft loaders already connected, so they can start putting in the cargo in the aft compartment. And while they are doing so, we are going to continue around the cockpit with a tour over here. Alright. So, how's the status of the fueling? It's 5 tons. Perfect. So the fast melts can come on. Now, what is going to be a little bit special today is that we will have everything run rather quick, and that includes all the procedures in flight. Before planning the flight, I checked flight radar, and this is a flight, real flight, operated 3 times a day, and it has an average flight time of 25 minutes. Let's see if we can make the taxi time longer than the flight time, shall we? So that's 6,100, heading of 235. Alright, and that's the flight deck setup completed thus far. Now, first thing I'm gonna do is to get IFR clearance here, because in case we have slots, I want to be in the line. In real life, obviously, that would be solved by the TOBT, so we wouldn't have to worry about getting clearance early, but in the simulator, unfortunately, we do have to do that.
Initial climb, flight level 60, squawk 7340.
Okay, what we can do as well, dim down those displays a little bit. As I mentioned, by default they are just a little bit too right.
I will report when fully ready, KLM 1279.
Delivery, good evening, KLM 97 Romeo, information Delta, request clearance to Dusseldorf.
That was 2 stations at once. First Alpine 36 Quebec Alpha. Alpine 36 Quebec Alpha, we are ready for push.
Okay, so just going to set the runway track on the courses today.
Alpha information Delta is current, QNH 999er hectopascals. Contact Schiphol North ground on 121-8.
Okay, QNH 999er, we can go ahead and start setting that as well.
1805, Alpine 36 Quebec Alpha, goodbye.
Reading Alpha, the information Delta request Alpha, Plan Gatwick.
Oh boy, radio discipline is a little bit down the line already. But I suppose if everyone's doing it, then we got no other choice but doing it as well, do we? Okay, so we can release the fuel truck.
Alpha 37 departure, initial climb 6,000, level 240, squawking 7347, Speedbird 29 Yankee.
Speedbird 29 Yankee, the initial climb is flight level 60.
Okay, so get out the Navigraph chart and load up the flight in there.
Okay, Speedbird 29 Yankee.
Schiphol delivery, good evening, KLM 97 Romeo, information Delta, request clearance.
KLM 907 Romeo, cleared Dusseldorf, Arnhem 3 Sierra departure runway 24, initial climb flight level 60, squawk 1000.
KLM 97 Romeo, cleared Dusseldorf, Arnhem 3 Sierra departure, runway 24, climb level 60, squawk 1000.
Hearing 70
Romeo, reback is corrected,
Sorry, you got blocked out by somebody. Say again.
KLM 907 Romeo, reback is correct, report on fully ready.
Wilco, KLM 907 Romeo. Alright guys, so Christmas 98, hi there, it is the PMDG 737 and Flops Aviator. Why is it daylight? For the simple fact that people watching the live stream seem to prefer to be able to see more than just darkness and lights. For that reason I made it daylight in the simulator here. Alright, cool then. So, MFRA is gonna be 980 feet, and then we can get out the charts and start our briefing. Oh nice, flying to Singapore. That's gonna be a long flight. Okay, come on. Import flight, please. Here we go.
6,000 initial in 3160 for Singapore.
Alright, synchronize those charts, and then we also need the parking stand chart, and that should be it. Alright, cool, so let's go ahead with our departure briefing. Threats for the departure, to be honest, high traffic situation is going to be the greatest threat, so we make carefully sure loads of KLM traffic, we make carefully sure that all our transmissions are directed to us and that we use the correct codes on all of them for answers. So that's the biggest threat. Apart from that, I don't really see anything on this one. You? No, okay. Then let's go ahead with our route check. Okay, so OFP please. Here we go. So, we're going from Amsterdam to Dusseldorf, KLM 97 Romeo, and the routing is via Arnhem, Tango 196, Tebro, Papa 62, Pisa, approach transition for runway 23, and the ground distance in this one is 170 versus 138, that's because of the arrival transition that we have inserted. Okay then, UTC time 1142, altimeter 999, reading 20, flight directors are on, and the standby instrument set. Left seat takeoff, runway 24, flaps 1, noise abatement 2, and we have no specials, EO sits straight ahead, climbing 3000. For the emergencies, above 80 knots, I will only reject for fire warning, engine failure, predictive winch warning, and aircraft unable unsafe to fly. If I call stop, the simultaneously close the thrust levers, disengage automatics, and make sure thrust reversers are deployed, speed brakes are deployed, and when the aircraft comes to a stop, I will set the parking brake. Alright, if you call stop, I know what the brakes on speed, call speed brakes up or speed brakes not up, and thrust reverse normal indications. I call 100 knots, 80 knots, 6 knots, and the runway distance remaining. Verify your actions, cardian emissions, I call auto brake disarm and select flaps 4 when the brake has been set. We identify the failure, carry out the insurance as appropriate. If we decide to evacuate, we're going to do the evacuation checklist. Time permitting, we'll pull the CBRCB, you grab the lid, and then we get out. And if the call before we want to keep going, there will be no actions below 400 feet except the cancelling warnings, raise landing over the positive rate. 400 feet, verify heading, select carry out memory items. At the MFRA, buck up, retract flaps and schedule, flaps and light, select level change, MCT, automatics, non-normal checks, and then we decide. Alright, for the taxi now, that's gonna get a little bit more interesting. It's probably gonna be a pushback facing to the left side. We're standing on Delta 29 in the bay over here, so pushback into Alpha 9 Charlie, then taxi out straight, south on Charlie, and Sierra 7, and then we're already at the runway. Departure is Arnhem 3 Sierra departure, that's gonna be Arnhem. And we've got up here, execute takeoff immediately after receiving clearance due to converging approach and departure procedures. Departure frequency Bomber 9055, initial climb to flight level 60, that is confirmed by ATC and already set. Okay then, for the routing itself, we're going to straight ahead Alpha Mike 005. Here we got it, Alpha Mike 005, Alpha Mike 008, maximum 220 knots, and we can insert the flight level 60 restriction in here as well. So thereafter it's going to be Alpha Mike 026, Iflut, Niker, and Arnhem, and we've got Iflut, Niker, and Arnhem. Okay, any questions? No? Very good. Then that's the briefing complete. In the meantime, how is our boarding looking? We have already finished loading the plane, and all the passengers are on board. Very good. Then let's go ahead and start up the APU. And in the meantime, we can do the safety inspection checklist and before start checklist down to the line, please. Services and shocks, check. Maintenance status, check. Batteries on, electric hydraulic pumps, on, landing gear lever, down, ship's library, checked. Before start checklist, IRS mode selectors, nav, gear pins. Back here, 1, 2, 3, removed. Light test. Did I mention I ever forget that one? Sim. But look at that, on the 700, the pack off lights are actually working. It's only the 8 and 900 where they aren't in the PMDGs. Okay, so light test checked, oxygen.
Alpine 58 Quebec.
Tested 100%. Yaw damper on, nav transfer display switch is normal auto. Fuel. That's 4,000 required, 5,000 on board, 4 pumps on. Cabin and utility IV galley power on. Emergency exit lights armed, fasten belts on, window heat on. Air cannon press, PAX auto, bleeds on set, press mode selector, auto, instruments, cross checked, auto brake, RTO, hydraulics. Normal. Speed brake, down attempt. Parking brake set, step and cutoff switch is normal, radius radar transponder set standby, radar and aileron shows free 0. Take a briefing discussed and holding at the PA. Alright, so let's quickly say hello to the passengers, and in the meantime I saw that the APU just became available. So, ground power can be released, we've got the parking brake set, GSX can start doing their work, getting the pushback tuck through the airplane. We'll take handling by KLM, please. And the wheel chocks can be removed. Okay, cool, so let's say hello to the passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, very good evening from Flytech. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of KLM, you're all very warm welcome aboard this Boeing 737-700 on our way to Dusseldorf. Flight time today approximately 30 minutes with a smooth flight at 17,000 feet or about 5,000 meters altitude. We'd like to say thank you very much for being on board today. Now the cabin crew is not only there for your comfort but most importantly for your safety. So please pay your full attention to the cabin crew safety demonstration that is going to commence very shortly. Thank you very much for your attention, and we now would like to wish you a very nice flight. Okay, cool. So they're ready. Then we can go ahead and do our performance. Zero fuel weight is 50 tons versus 52.8, so we are 2.8 tons lighter. Well, that's alright. Gross weight 55 tons then. And that leads us to be a 20k takeoff, and it's going to be 55 degree assumed temperature, giving us a takeoff and one from 82.9. So flaps 1 takeoff, CG 5 gives us 5.2 units of trim, and the takeoff speeds we are going to take on a wet runway, and that gives us 125, 130, 131. Okay, and those we can set up here as well. 131. Perfect. So, the door is closed by now. Perfect. Alright, then let's go ahead and grab the clearance.
Contact ground 121, decimal 805, QNH 998.
KLM 97 Romeo, QNH 998, request startup.
KLM 907 Romeo, information echo is current, QNH 998 hectopascals, contact Schiphol North ground on 121-805.
121.805, KLM 907 Romeo, and confirm startup is approved?
KLM 907 Romeo, you will get that from ground.
Roger. That's not how it works in real life. But okay, let's go ahead, finish up the checklist. So, PA complete, FMC CDU set, M1 and IS box automatic, reduced 20k, 82.9, speeds 25, 30, 31 set, step trim 5.2 set, performance weight and balance, sign send, phones off, EFB, airplane mode stowed, flight windows and cockpit are locked, doors closed, passengers seated, before start checklist complete. Scope ground, good evening, KLM 97 Romeo, stand Delta 29, request pushback.
Easy 8680, taxi into stand to your right. Easy 8680, taxi into stand to your right.
And Alessandro, did I just ask the passengers for clearance? I guess I did. Schiphol ground, KLM 97 Romeo, request pushback and startup.
97 Romeo, there's traffic pushing behind you, number 2, I'll call you back.
Roger. Let's see, where is he?
He's weighing 70.
There is nobody pushing behind. So where is the traffic pushing behind?
121.705,
Well, I suppose we just have to wait a little bit and then we'll get there. So 121.705, we can pre-select that. Might surely get that one as well. Well, and then we just gotta wait a little bit for clearance. Okay, so just waiting for the pushback, and that's about it. Then Daniel, how come that I don't use GSX for boarding? To be honest, because I do believe that GSX simply sucks at it. The boarding times are not realistic, the sound effects you don't hear in the cockpit either, so why should I? And Cuckoo, when I asked for startup and the controller said that I will get it from ground, did you mean if engines are clear for start? No, I don't. Basically, I mean that when you need startup clearance, so that you can even ask for pushback. So the way it works is that delivery basically releases you to the ground by giving you the startup clearance. That does not mean that you're actually going to start the engines straight away, but that is basically the release from air traffic control, so that the next sector can then get you going. Alright, then, Taser XI, why do some aircraft have V-bars for flight directors and others have the crossbar? Well, that honestly just comes back to philosophy, you know. Back in the old days, the V-bar was what you had on most conventional setups. Yeah, now there's someone pushing behind, okay. And another one. Oh boy. I'm smelling delay already.
Via Lima and Echo 3 cross 1 left for SDF 5 Bravo.
Alright, yeah, so the crossbar flight director has been invented together with different styles of ADIs, but they came a little bit later, so some airlines just prefer to carry forward what they had rather than you know, switching to the new type. It's basically a relic from the past, but some airlines prefer to stick with it.
Ground speed at Yankee is ready to taxi.
And Cuckoo, yeah, the engine start clearance from the ramp agent is something different than startup clearance from ATC. And somebody with a Cyrillic name ending in 1023. I do apologize for not being able to rate that properly. Have you ever been flying to Ukraine? Yes, I've been flying to Kiev quite a bit before the war broke out and before Russia invaded. I've been there a week before. Then Archie, what's my opinion of the ATC at Amsterdam? Well, they're doing a very good job overall. The traffic numbers they have at the moment are really a lot, so... I mean, just look at that. The airport has traffic numbers. KLM 97 Romeo went clear of the second traffic from right to left behind. Pushback and startup approved. Alright, so when clear of him, our pushback is approved. And I tell you what, we're gonna tell GSX to start the pushback straight away, because they'll probably take their time to connect everything once again. Oh, now they're already at the release park and brake time. Does anybody of you understand the GSX logic? Sometimes when I'm requesting pushback from GSX, it starts with, oh, locking the gear and blah 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 blah. And sometimes, like now, it goes straight for release parking brakes. Does anybody understand the logic how GSX is doing these things?
Joined Alpha behind second Ryanair 737 from the left, Switch Alpha.
Gear Up Aviation. Emmanuel, which US airline has the best Part 141 training program? I honestly don't know. And Forrest, hi, nice to see you here. We are going to Dusseldorf. Short 25-minute flight. And Marc-André, how come I have taxiway options on the Pushback? Well, that's quite easy. I downloaded the profile from the Fly Tampa forums. Oh, look at that. The Etihad came face to face with EasyJet in the back there.
Roger, my bad there. Right, I'm now for 1-2 and left on Bravo.
Oh man, look at this apron. This is probably even busier than it is in real life at the moment. Impressive. It just really shows how much awaited that Fly Tampa scenery really was. It's amazing, isn't it? But I would really appreciate if this guy here could get going now, because we're waiting for 5 minutes for him now. Oh, and now there's a Ryanair coming on this side. Come on guys, we just want to fly. Please.
I'll skip around, don't count up 6 while I'm ahead of the Alpha this taxi.
That guy just needs to move. Because what I see coming already, you've got the Sun Express back there. And I've got pushback clearance after this guy. And I'm afraid that due to the time this is taking, our pushback will be cancelled. So that this guy can taxi out before we can push. Because by the time that's passed, he should be ready for taxi now. But as long as ATC doesn't say anything, the moment this guy here passes, I'm gonna release my brake. Let's look at the holding point. Oh. Oh boy. So, where's the traffic? Alright, he's passed. Park and brake is off. Before start checklist below the line. Air compacts off, anti-collision on, park and brake, release, transponder out off, before start checklist complete. Not gonna take any more delay than we actually have to. I have a feeling it's gonna be a lot more delay at the holding point.
Easy 221.
Yeah, Kevin Reed, good point. Just order some pizza.
Stand Foxtrot 3.
I should probably do that.
Start.
Well, my girlfriend's just done it, but I had mine for today already. Alright, cool.
Easy
Starting engine 2.
Pushback and start proof.
N2. Hold press. N1.
Runner low, runner 3, Bravo, Bravo, on Lima, holding short, Echo 9.
So, fuel on.
Taxi beam, Echo 8.
Brake set.
Mitigate again, runner 3, Bravo, Bravo. Auto 5, Roger.
Oh boy, I had to promise my girlfriend the live stream wouldn't go longer than like 2 hours or 2.5 hours or such. I have a feeling, just with the departure delay we're having here, that is not going to work out. Alright, start a cutout, monitor 2, starting 1. And 2.
Skipple, ground, good evening, easy, 37, Hotel Bravo.
Alpha Bravo, hello, taxi gate Hotel 4 at Echo 8, close on my 18 left.
All pressure, N1.
It's taxi gate Hotel 4 at Echo 8, soft runway 18 left, D379, go profit.
Alright ground, we have 2 good starts, clear disconnect, clear signal on the right hand side with a pin, and have a good evening, bye bye.
KLM 611 at Alpha 9, John Bravo.
After Alpha 9, John Bravo, 61.
Okay, engines are almost up. Start a cutout, monitor 1. 1 is stable. Alright, GSX is showing us the pin, very good. Then we can continue with the procedure. I know that I do it in a lot of live streams, but normally you're not supposed to do the rest of the procedure before you've seen the pin. It's just that with the GSX procedures I don't really care, because everything is just taking too long. Okay, flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, and the rudders. Full left, full right, neutral. B4 taxi checklist. Generators on, APU off, start switches continuous, probe lead on, NTIs off, air conditioning, PAX auto bleeds on, isolation valve, auto, flaps. 1 required, 1 selected, and a green light. Stop trim, 5.1 required set. Start levers idle tent, flight controls checked, recall checked, B4 taxi checklist complete.
Roger that, please west for 999.
KLM 907 Romeo, request taxi.
97 Romeo, taxi 100 Sheriff 5, runway 34. Going Alpha behind the Boeing 787 to the left.
Taxi 1 point, Sierra 5, runway 24, and join Alpha behind the 787 from the left, KLM 97 Romeo. Okay, that's the 787. So, config.
705, clicking on 61 ahead.
Then let's see where Sierra 5 is. Down here. So we take the 3rd. Okay, so out here, southbound into Alpha, and then after the turn, the 2nd to the left. Okay, clear left, clear right. 11705, KLM 97 Romeo, bye. Ground, hello, KLM 97 Romeo, taxiing Sierra 5.
First, Singapore 45 count. Singapore 45 count.
Okay, so we seem to be behind the Norwegian over there.
611 with you.
KLM 611, good evening, please hold your position, out of traffic in front.
Second up for KLM 611.
KLM 611, please hold your position.
Oh no, another plane and another plane.
Hold position,
God, I have a feeling that's gonna take really long.
KLM 907 Romeo, hold your position please, hold your position.
Hold in position, KLM 97 Romeo. Why is that?
I need some separation space at this moment, it's getting quite full.
Roger.
Emirates 9846.
Oh, that can't be. So parking brake is set. How is he?
Singapore 45 ground. KLM 611, you may continue to Alpha 7.
Continue Alpha 7, KLM 611.
KLM 907 Romeo, you may go to Alpha 6.
Alpha 6, KLM 97 Romeo.
Lufthansa 999 Whiskey Sierra on this.
So yeah, that is exactly what we were doing anyway.
999 Whiskey Sierra, schönen guten Abend. For now, continue Alpha.
So let's see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6, 7 aircraft ahead. Oh no. Guys, I was making a joke when I said at the beginning of the stream that I would look for a longer taxi time than longer taxi than flight time. Oh man. Okay, so Alpha 6 he wants us, that is over here, directly in front of Sierra 5, so basically exactly as we've been cleared.
We are on Bravo, KLM 611.
KLM 611, yeah, copy, I'm aware of it. You may continue to Alpha 7 for now.
Okay, so he's cleared us into Alpha 6. That means we're gonna make a left turn over here
Alpine
and then hold
58
short of
Quebec
Bravo.
Zulu, please contact tower 119230. Lufthansa 990 Whiskey Sierra, when able, make a left on Alpha 7. Expect Sierra 6 for departure.
Left Alpha 7 and you expect
KLM 97 Romeo at Alpha 6, hold position.
KLM 97 Romeo. I guess there's not a lot of other space to do anything here.
It's quite a bit of full.
That's true, but obviously we're holding here. I mean, why does he
Air France
give us that
70
instruction,
Charlie
you
Mike,
know?
Follow the EasyJet in front when able.
Yeah, that was clear. He needed to clear the Air France in front of us because of my
KLM
comment.
1220 when able, make a
That
left
had to happen.
on Alpha and then go to Sierra 6.
Alright, so I'll start the timing. Let's see how long this is gonna take. Alright, so we can in the meantime do the before takeoff checklist to the line. That's config checked, flaps 1 green light, step trim 5.2 sets, takeoff briefing. Left seat takeoff, runway 24, flaps 1, noise abatement 2, PAX auto bleeds on, anti-ice off. And it's going to be a left seat takeoff, runway 24, the sit straight at, then a left turn out, noise abatement procedure 2, and when passing 2,000 feet, we contact departure.
KLM 97 Romeo, you may continue behind Air France A320 in front.
KLM 97 Romeo, continue behind the Air France.
Lufthansa 2 Alpha, please give way to the KLM Boeing 737 from left to
Okay,
right.
so where were we? Yeah, sit straight out left turn, contact departure at 2000, and finally, what else are we going to do? Emergency straight at 3,000 feet, climbing,
Alpha 7, give
proceeding
way
to 25 miles, and then radar vectors on the way
Airbus
back.
A330 in front, he's making a left turn in a bit.
And Alessandro, you'll be quicker just taxiing on the highway. That is an idea.
Speedbird 26 Victor, taxi holding point Sierra 6, runway 24.
And Pulverto Toastman, yeah, no plan ever survives first contact with the enemy. Nice one.
Singapore 45 ground.
Alright, so, I knew it was busy. I didn't think it was that busy. I mean, look at that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ahead of us. Yeah, 20 minutes or something the likes. So our taxi time is going to become longer than our flight time. But I tell you what, for the time that we're still standing here, let's go ahead and quickly do the planning for the return flight already, shall we? So at least we're going to have a very quick turnaround then. Okay, so Air France should start moving any moment, then we'll just taxi ahead to make sure the Lufthansa doesn't cut into us and sneak up on us.
Yeah, you can contact the tower now, 119-230.
Okay, he's waiting, that's good.
119.230.
Alright.
Air France 70 Charlie Mike at Sierra 5, hold short and contact the tower 119er, decimal 230 Alpha.
G Walker, would that happen in real life? No, absolutely not. With this amount of traffic there would be slotting, and the slots would assure that at no time too many aircraft would appear at the holding point at the same time.
Easy 2216, hold.
So they would simply give the pushback clearances in time so that nobody can get into a situation like this. So nicely blocking Bravo over here, but we can't go much further forward without getting jet blast, so we'll just have to take it the way it is. Alright, so this is going to take a little while, so in the meantime let's go ahead and plan our return flight. So, this is the real one on the way back. Going to be KLM 35 Golf, so let's go ahead and a sim brief and go for a new flight.
KLM 907 Romeo, please contact the tower 119-230, bye bye.
119-230, KLM 97 Romeo, bye. Alright, so let's quickly call him.
Correction, 2 Alpha.
So, 119-230.
Contact the top, line up away, 2 for Sierra 6 behind. Open airplane face 21.
Oh, we're getting number 1. Schiphol Tower, very good evening. KLM 97 Romeo, ready for departure.
KLM 97 Romeo, hello, hold short Sierra 5.
Wilco. Why does he say that?
First Ryanair, 1 Echo Lima, runway 22, clear to land, vacate to the right.
Good land, runway 22, book right start. Ryanair 1 clear.
Lufthansa 5 Alpha Kilo, number 2, wind 210 degrees 15, vacate to the right.
Again, 5 Alpha Kilo.
Nordic 68.
Okay, so brake is set, we're holding once again, so let's go ahead and do the return flight planning. Man, I didn't believe this would take that long, but not too much of a problem. So it's going to be KLM 1862 / KLM 35 Golf. So that's going to be from DUS to AMS in the 737-700. And it's going to be the DMDG first class config. We're in the Papa Hotel Bravo Golf Golf. The call sign we set is KLM 35 Golf. Cost index 30. We're going for the KLM schedule. Routing is fine. That looks pretty much like what they've flown in real life as well. So we are just going to leave that. 23 left. Arrival. They're using 22 these days. But that's not going to do much different. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much this. For the fuel planning, let's go with an extra of 15 minutes for possible delays that we might get. And that way we can already, well, change the alternate real quick. So, how's Rotterdam looking? Gust 42. Nope, not going to use that. So, yesterday Brussels was good. Let's see how that's going to be today.
KLM 1928, number 3, wind 210 degrees 15.
Good. Alright, perfect. So with that, our return flight is planned already.
Right, KLM 1928.
KLM 71 Whiskey, runway 24, cleared for takeoff, wind 210 degrees 15, bye-bye.
Alright, 32 minutes trip time, yeah, as expected. So.
KLM 97 Romeo, behind departing company, line up runway 24, Sierra 6, Sierra 5 behind.
KLM 97 Romeo, behind the departing company, line up via Sierra 5 behind. Thank you very much. Wow, that was quick.
Amsterdam, Schiphol Tower, very good evening, GCG,
okay.
Fully established island,
so the KLM is departing.
EG85 Alpha Victor, 1 and right, clear to land, wind 210 degrees 15.
We land 18.
Before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP, set, transponder, Tara, strobe lights, on, holding at landing lights. Alright, gonna take as much runway as possible here.
11905570 Charlie Mike.
Lufthansa 5 Alpha Kilo, runway 22, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 22, Lufthansa 5 Alpha Kilo.
KLM 97 Romeo, runway 24, clear for takeoff, wind 210 degrees 15, bye.
24, clear takeoff, KLM 97 Romeo, thanks, bye. Okay, landing lights on before takeoff checks complete. Yep. Timing, just 7 minutes at the holding point. Man, great drop off the ATC. Okay, what caution is that? Yeah, that was the overwings. Ignoring that. Keep going. Okay, takeoff thrust set, indications normal. 80 knots is checked.
KLM 64 Charlie, 7 miles final, runway 189.
KLM 64 Charlie, number 2, wind 210 degrees 15.
Number 2 coast.
Rotate.
KLM Christian Lufthansa, 99 Whiskey Sierra, line up and wait, runway 24.
Gear up.
Singapore 45, line up and wait, runway 24, 1 intersection departure info.
LNAV. Autopilot on. I'm using the autopilot rather early today because well, simply because this is very busy. Okay, buck up. So as some of my training captains always used to say, there is a time and a place for manual flight. This is not it. Okay then, 119055 is our departure frequency.
KLM 1928, runway 22, clear to land, clear to the right.
Okay, flaps up. Speed check, flaps up. Schiphol departure, good evening, KLM 907 Romeo, 2200, climbing level 60.
KLM 97 Romeo, hello, identified, climb flight level 130.
Climb flight level 130, KLM 907 Romeo. Set, 130 checked. Okay, set standard.
KLM 711, hello, for information, Foxtrot.
VNAV, after takeoff checklist.
Descent flight level 55.
Okay, air condition and pressurization, 2.0.
Charlie Alpha to left heading 360, contact arrival 118.
Altimeters, standard, after takeoff checklist complete. Alright, I do have to say, despite all the traffic, that was a very good job from ATC. They got us out pretty much in time. Thank you very much, Amsterdam. If anybody of you is listening, thank you very much. And hi, Pilot Stud, nice to see you here in the comments.
99 Whiskey Sierra, hello, identified, climb flight level 130.
And Pulver Toastman, they really do give KLM preferred treatment at Schiphol, eh? Even letting you cut in line twice. Yeah, seems like it. I mean, to be honest, that is probably realistic. I mean, in Germany, Lufthansa always gets the preference as well. In France, Air France is always going to have preference. So, that is probably quite realistic. I do have to say they did a great job, though. They really did. For the amount of traffic they had, that was really superb.
8 hectopascal. KLM 97 Romeo, contact Amsterdam radar 124.880.
124.880, KLM 97 Romeo, bye.
60.
Amsterdam, good evening, KLM 97 Romeo, passing level 89 or climbing 130.
KLM 97 Romeo, hello, climb flight level 170.
Climb flight level 170, KLM 97 Romeo. Set, 170 checked. And VNAV.
KLM 44 Romeo.
Alright, I'm going to keep the climb thrust reduction in there, otherwise we would just be blasting away like a rocket at this low weight. So I'm going non-standard here, keeping the climb 2 in. Okay then, passing 105, climb 170, 10 checks. Fuel balanced with 4 pumps on. The lights are going off. APU off, aircon and press, 4.7 climbing set. Fasten belts will remain on. But let's release the cabin so that they can at least do a quick drink service. Okay then, recall checked and 1 to 1.5 is being monitored. Alright, 10 checks complete.
Right heading 190. Right heading 190.
And the sky check, do you use D-rated takeoff or cutbacks and when? Well, pretty much always D-rated takeoff. Cutbacks, we never use them here in Europe. And Alessandro, when ATC says climb to blah blah during the departure, is that an immediate climb or do restrictions still apply? Normally, restrictions do still apply. So normally they would need to add a little bit of extra, like for example, climb unrestricted. But obviously on this particular departure there were no restrictions, so we didn't have to worry about that. Okay, vertical speed. And that's approaching. So temperature plus 10. Yeah, we should stay clear, I think. I think we should stay clear of the clouds, but in case we do enter them, we can still turn the anti-ice on.
140.
Okay then, so Dusseldorf ATC is going to be on 123.78.
Turn right, direct active, thereafter Sierra Papa Lima. Thereafter Sierra Papa Lima,
Information gone.
Jedi 5 Romeo, after active to Schiphol, Sierra Papa Lima.
Automated rudder map. Expect vectors for ILS approach runway 23 left. Runways in use 23 left. Transition level 70.
1,000 to go.
Wind 210 degrees 19 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Light rain, no significant clouds. Temperature 2.14. QNH 1003. Trend temporary. Wind 210 degrees to 0 knots. Gusts up to 30 knots.
Oh, lovely.
Moderate rain attention. Departure frequency for all departing aircraft is long and radar on.
Alright, that's all I needed. So, runway 23 left it is going to be. So let's go ahead and change that around. ILS 23 left and Pisa's 23 transition.
You said 260, not 28.
Yeah, I mean, a daring move tonight.
Yeah.
Alright, I do suspect that things are going to go a lot quicker at Dusseldorf, so probably going to be straight in from Xamot. So let's just see, if we do Xamot to Metma, what is that going to give us? Flight level 87.
135650, 470 Charlie Mike, thank you. Bye.
Alright. Oh, data link voice. Why is that? Data should be on. Well, okay, so be it. So we don't have ACARs available. But that is fine. Alright then, reach cruise level, VNAV. I'm not gonna bother with setting continuous thrust over here. In Brain 7, what does the FMC light above the ND show? That's basically that you've got a message in the scratch pad down there that you need to care about. Okay, so 232 on the courses. 109.9 on the frequencies. And 340 on the minima. I do happen to know that one by heart, as Dusseldorf was my home airport for a very long time. So we might as well just take it from here. Okay, cool. So it's going to be auto brakes 2, hoping to vacate right on, to vacate right away onto Sierra, or what's that, Lima 6. Okay then, ready for the approach briefing. So threats for the arrival, I don't really see any. So, FMC, we've got 250 below 100, forecast page, 1003 I'll put in, and flight level 70 on the transition level. I can't be bothered with the wind. ATC is going to take us down early anyway. Okay, so rings, gonna be runway 23 left, 10 miles, and we'll use 5 miles just because of those temporary gusts, so that we can stabilize the plane a little earlier. So 10 and 5 and 54 for 3 times the cruise altitude. Okay, so for the arrival, we've got Pisa below level 170, we're flying that anyway, so I'm just going to clear that out. And then Ageda, Xamot with the shortcut predicted. We do have the S transition in over here, but not gonna fly that hopefully. Alright then, Metma, 3,000 feet. And 1850 the check altitude. Missed approach straight at 2 near Dusseldorf, and then right to Bottrop climbing 4,000. Arrival fuel 3.5, the minimum to come back to Amsterdam is 2.4, so plenty of fuel on board. Burning 600 kilos, I'll calculate with 400, anticipating a shortcut, give me 53.7, and then it's going to be flap 30, and I'll put in a wind correction of 10 knots in here, just in case the gusts do actually come up when we start the approach, and that is it. Alright, vacating to the left, and we'll see about the taxi. Any questions? No, very good. Alright, engine anti-ice on. And then we can do the descent checklist. Pressurization, land out 150, anti-ice on, recall, checked, approach brief fuel, discussed, IS and outbox, checked and set. Descent checklist complete. Alright, so that's it already. I can't be bothered doing a PA now on such a short flight. The cabin crew can do that, but I'm not gonna care. So I do anticipate getting the handover 12855 in a few moments.
Singapore 45, hello, climb flight level 250.
But let's see about it. It should come shortly. Alright, cool. And that's about the speed at which you can do things in the real world. And Marc-André, what's the name of the forum for the GSX pushback? It's the Fly Tampa forum. So just go on the Fly Tampa website and you are going to find that in... you're going to find it in the forums. And Fox Bravo Tango Sierra Charlie. Hey, is that a Concorde registration? I don't believe it is, huh? So you said you were based at Dusseldorf before. Were you flying? 128 555 KLM 97 Romeo. Thanks, see ya.
Bye.
Langen schönen guten Abend, KLM 97 Romeo, Flight Level 170 inbound Tableau Information Hotel.
KLM 97 Romeo, Langen Radar, identified information, hotel is correct. Expect sector for final, and then to flight level 140.
KLM 97 Romeo, expect radar vectors, and I do suppose for an ILS 23 left, descent now, flight level 140. Okay, set. 140 checked. And halt in event. Let's start our descent. So the anti-ice is on, and I am going to turn on the lights as well. Drag required, I disagree. That's probably something you heard me say the most in the actual 737. Like, when it said drag required down here, you wouldn't believe how often I just said, yeah, I disagree. Okay, so the arrival starts at P-sub. He said expect radar vectors, so I'll just confirm with him if he wants us to fly the P-sub transition. Because that is what they usually want, but we'll just go on the safe side here and ask him. But let's get a little bit closer first, and then we will see. Alright, so Fox Bravo Tango Sierra Charlie. Maintain present heading, KLM 97 Romeo. Alright, perfect. That's what we needed. So I'll tell you what, let's take things easy. Direct Matma, approach course 232. Extend the center line. And here we go. Retard VNAV speed. Tell you what, vertical speed minus 1000. So the seatbelts are on, but I'm just going to recycle them, giving the cabin crew the clue that we are now 15 minutes from landing. Wow, it's getting really dark inside here. That must be some thick cloud coverage. But if you listen closely, 1000 to go, if you listen closely you can even hear the rain bouncing off from the windshield. In a 737, when you hear that noise, you know that you are flying through some really dense rain. On the weather radar that would typically be amber, with a tendency to show some slight red as well when you hear that. KLM 97 Romeo, turn right heading 140. KLM 97 Romeo, descend 7000, QNH 1002. Okay, set. That's 7000 checked. Set altimeter 1002. And that's 1002 cross check passing 14000 now. Stand by instrument set, no flags. Okay, so at this altitude there is not a lot of sense to increase speed now to get back under the profile. So what we're gonna do is the ATC lever.
Radar, hello, Sierra 5681 abound to Dusseldorf, passing to 3500.
And Cuckoo, welcome as a business class member. I do hope that you are going to enjoy the business videos.
5681, sorry.
And Fox Tango Bravo Charlie, a shame that we don't have any weather radar. Hope Asobo will include the weather radar API for the next simulator. So do I, man. So do I. That's really one of the most missing features these days. Alright, so 23 miles to run to Metma. We got to be at 3,000 there. That means we got to lose 8,000 feet. 8 times 3, 24, plus our speed reduction, so we will need the speed brakes for a little while. The VNAV path we see over here is probably correct. However, do keep in mind that we have some 15 miles to fly in that direction, straight into the 60 knot wind, so... Right then, speed 250. KLM 907 Romeo, descend altitude 3,000 feet. Set. 3,000 checked. Okay. 9,800 descending 3,000. 10 checks. Fuel balanced. 4 pumps. Lights on. Angle of bank 25. Aircon and press. That's 4.4. Maintaining set. Fast melts on. Recall checked. And 1 to 1.5 deselected. That's the 10 checks complete. And I set 118305 for the tower frequency. KLM 907 Romeo, turn right heading 160. Okay. Engine anti-ice off. Tell you what, for as long as we hear the rain shower pressing down on those engines, we are going to keep the... we're going to keep the engine start switches in continuous here. Okay, receiving the ident already. Let's go for the... I tell you what, looking at the level of over here, might even want the speed brakes a little bit more, but let's do the frisk check first, and then we decide on the speed brakes second. So, frequency 109.9, and that is set on both sides. Rings, runway 23 left, 10 miles, 5 miles, idents, ILS Dusseldorf southwest, ILS Dusseldorf southwest, standby instrument set, course is 232, approach checklist. Altimeters and instruments, second cross-checked, approach aids, checked and set, approach checklist complete. So, approach checklist is the latest point for the first officer to display the vertical situation display. Something that catches out a lot of new FOs on the on their initial line training. Alright, so we will not need our speed brakes. Look at that. Now we are going to be level like 5 miles before Metma. We need about 5 miles to lose our speed, so we are pretty much on profile right now. But look at the wind, man. That is really strong still. So it took about 15 minutes taxi time over in Amsterdam. I suppose we're going to be on the ground by 25 minutes. Do you guys think we're going to crack the 10-minute taxi time in Dusseldorf so that we ultimately end up with a longer taxi time than flight time? What do you guys think? Vertical speed. Let's do 1,000 feet a minute for now. We want to make the continuous descent, after all. KLM 907 Romeo, turn right heading 200, cleared ILS 23 left. So, 700 feet a minute should be alright. Man, look at that. Just 11 miles to run to Metma, and we need 4 minutes to get there. The effect of 60 knots of wind. Man, that's really strong wind. In other words, it's going to be really hard to lose the speed when that wind starts dying off later on. Okay, cleared approach. Approach armed.
Thank you, number 5681.
Alright, so let's keep a close eye on the wind over here. When that one starts dying off, we gotta react. But until then, I'm just going to keep the speed up high. I mean, look at that, we're already doing the ground speed of 231 knots. Localizer capture. Runway heading 232. Okay, down to 500 feet a minute. 210 knots ground speed while doing 250 indicated. Oh boy. I'm just happy we're not flying in Frankfurt right now, because in Frankfurt we'd probably be at 160 knots by now, or 170 knots. With that wind, man, that'd be almost just 100 knots ground speed. But 5 miles from Metmar, we slowly gotta start slowing down. So let's start doing that now. Speed back 200. I just hope that that wind is actually going to die off before we eventually get down. It would be interesting to land with a 60 knot headwind, but I suppose that's probably not gonna happen. So I'm using vertical speed right now to fly it into the glide slope.
Contact Dusseldorf Tower on 118 305, arrive 60 Kilometer done.
118 305, KLM 97 Romeo. Ich würde mich super freuen, wenn ihr noch ein kleines bisschen da wärt. Ich gehe nochmal raus nach Amsterdam.
Also 22 Uhr locker.
Ein paar Minuten länger? Nicht viele? Super gut, danke. Tschüss. Okay, glide slope capture, flaps 1 and go on altitude 4000 set. Flaps 5. Dusseldorf Tower, guten Abend, KLM 97 Romeo, ILS 23 left. Dusseldorf Tower, guten Abend, KLM 97 Romeo, ILS 23 left.
KLM 97 Romeo, Dusseldorf Tower, K, wind 10 degrees, 1 knots, casting 28 knots, 1 left,
2 left, clear land, KLM 97 Romeo. Okay, with those gusts we're going to use VRF plus 15 on the approach. So that's going to be 143 final approach speed. By the way, talking about speeds, you see that? 180 indicated, 130 over the ground. So in case you're wondering why I'm seemingly speeding on the approach, that is the exact reason. Okay, the speed is slowly bleeding back, nicely. 130 knots over the ground already. Look at that, still 50 knots of headwind here. In 1,700 feet above ground.
November 6, Papa Delta, taxi to the GSC via Mike, Lima 7 Hotel.
So I'm definitely going to configure at 5 miles, not at 4. This is taking ages. 120 knots over the ground. Okay, 5 miles, gear down, flaps 15. And landing checklist. Down to flaps. Start switches, continuous. By the way, we have the landing clearance, we can turn those on. Recall, checked, speed brake, arm for light, landing gear down for green, auto brakes 2. Okay, flaps 30. Speed check, flap 30. 143 approach speed. Wind is finally dying off a little bit. Okay, continue the checks. Flaps 30, 30 green light, landing lights on, landing checklist complete, and the field is in sight. Alright, that's what I call timing.
November 6, Papa Delta.
But I'm definitely taking this as IMC. At any moment, the shower might just move ahead of us.
Mike Lima 9 in Hotel, November 6, Papa Delta, Cool, Roger.
So definitely still raining over the field. Checked. This looks absolutely beautiful, doesn't it? Hello there. This really looks beautiful. Okay, autopilot off. Let's do the rest ourselves. In case you're wondering, by the way, it is absolutely normal that you need to trim the airplane a little bit after the autopilot is disengaged. Even though in theory they do say that you don't, that the airplane should be fully trimmed out with a failed passive autopilot system when you take over. In practical terms, that is not always the case. By the way, look at how quickly the shower is being blown away over here. That really gives you an indication of how strong the wind on the ground is. One of those points why we always say that looking outside is so important, even when flying IFR. Okay, check. Continue. Okay, wipers off. And I am ignoring the glide slope now. It is incorrect here at Dusseldorf. So, decrab, and we're down.
8 X-ray Tango.
Nice. Okay, speed break up, thrust reverse normal. 100 knots.
Bravo 421, ready to copy clearance.
80 knots, manual brakes, auto brake disarm. So, 28 minutes flight time.
You are unreadable again, unfortunately.
Okay, 1197 Romeo vacating. He needs to tell us if we need to go left in Lima 6 or right Lima 7.
Taxi to gate Bravo 09, yeah, Lima 6, Papa 4.
Okay, Bravo 09 Lima 6, Papa 4, okay, 1197 Romeo. Are you still going to be online for a departure in like 20 minutes?
Very firm.
Vielen Dank.
Lufthansa 7 Alpha Hotel, wind 2.
Okay, now it's raining again. Starting the APU straight away. So, to the right, to the left, and then Bravo 9 is just over there. Clear left side, clear right side. Man, that is quite a bit of weather here. So I didn't promise you too much with that live stream. I definitely didn't promise you too much. And Paul Young, did you use your rudders while crabbing? Well, I used the rudder while decrabbing, but not for the crab on the approach. For that you use just the ailerons, and then for the decrab, that's where you use the rudder. Okay, looking for Bravo 9er. Let's get GSX ready. In real life you would get a marshaller over here. Handling by Dusseldorf Airport.
Information hotel is now current.
Okay, here we go.
Hamburg. Mabel 3 Tango departure.
So let's do the cleanup work.
Score 1000.
Clear to Hamburg via Mabel 3 Tango departure, flight 10-2, climb via 5000 feet, walk 1000, information, and
Lufthansa 67 Echo, feedback correct. Call me.
Okay, APU available.
Report when ready.
And online. So, Bravo 8 over here. So we're gonna go left and Bravo 9 is over here. Okay, flaps retracted, recall. Okay, what's that? Master caution, anti-ice. Okay, that's the ProPeat. We don't have auto ProPeat on this airplane, it seems. So that is fine. Okay, Bravo 9 coming up over here. Lights going off. Yeah, not the best lead in line. Okay, I've definitely done better on the taxi in, but it's alright. Okay, 3 minutes are past, engine 2 shutdown. Okay, Boeing 737 is confirmed, so let's continue that taxi in. Sometimes I find it quite hard to read. Well, did that just start at 10 meters? Normally those guidance systems... Oh, hello there. Come on, spawning into my gate, now.
Lufthansa 2 X-ray Lima, this is the first day. Cleared Amsterdam.
Come on, plane, get rolling.
7 Tango departure. Left hand route, climb right.
We're gonna ask that Lufthansa to go away in a moment. Okay, 2 blue, 1 red, engines dead.
Lufthansa 2 X-ray Lima and confirm information hotel.
Come on, voice recorder. Cabin crew, all doors in park.
Lufthansa 2 X-ray Lima, read back correct. Report.
Okay, so just waiting for the engines, and in the meantime we can already start thinking about our deboarding. Ground power request. Okay, both engines below 20%, and that means jetway connect. And you can get me all of those as well. Okay, transit shutdown checklist. Electrical on APU. Actually, electrical is now on ground power. Fast melts off. Probe bleed off. Anti-ice off. Voice recorder on. Air compactor auto. Engine bleeds on. APU bleed off. Exterior lights steady and wheel well. Start switches off. Auto brake off. Speed brake down intent. Flaps up no light. Parking brake set. Start levers cut off. Weather radar off. Transponder 2000 standby. CB in. Cockpit door unlocked. Shutdown checklist complete. And that is just about how quickly you do it. Alright, so you guys can start the deboarding.
Power, Lufthansa 6 Echo ready for push and start.
So deplane start, and you can offload the... Come on, GSX.
Lufthansa 6-7 Echo push and start approved. Face west.
Sometimes when you can't press any buttons, just check the GSX menu. It's typically GSX. Alright, cool. So trucks are in position, so parking brake can be released for brake cooling purposes. And then I would say we quickly file for the return flight and file the flight plan, and then we can already lock in with a new call sign, which is going to be KLM 35 Golf. So, new flight plan is filed, then let's go ahead with our turnaround. Most important thing first though, let's quickly check the amount of fuel we need. We've got 3.6 right now. Let's see if we do need a fuel truck or not. In real life, by the way, that would also be the first thing you check. Because ordering a fuel truck can take a lot of time. Now, we did plan sufficient fuel for tankering, but that was without taking the weather into account, so let's see real quick. View SimBrief OFP, please. Come on. Here we go. Okay. So, fuel, 4.7, so 4.8, make that 5 tons again, so we do need a fuel truck. But that's alright. So request the tuck, and then for the return trip, we're going to, first of all, unload the cargo, and then we can start with the setup already. So, from Dusseldorf to Amsterdam. And it's going to be the KLM 35 Golf this time. Departure runway 23 left, and let's see for the routing. Sonap 7 Tango departure. And Sonap 7 Tango we have. An arrival Amsterdam, probably going to be the ILS 18 right, I suppose. Via the Reckon 2 Alpha, and then probably RTIP. Okay, route, activate, execute. Cost index 30, reserve fuel, let's see, 2.4. Zero fuel weight, today is planned at... Oh, that's not a lot, 47.9. That's really not a lot. How many passengers do we have? Oh, just 86. Wow. Okay. So, 47.9. Flight level 180. Don't have any cruise winds, unfortunately, in the KLM format here. but eyesight deviation is +7, so that means -13. Transition altitude 5001. Okay, so for the return, we're gonna take 1000 kilos of cargo in the front hold, nothing in the aft, and then you can start with the loading. Deboarding is still in progress at this time. Alright, execute. Using reserve fuel, yeah, that's clear. We're gonna order 5 tons, let's see what that's gonna give us. 3.7 arrival fuel, totally fine. Very good, okay. Okay, then let's go over the rest of the airplane real quick. So we didn't refuel yet, for that reason we can't turn the seatbelt signs on. And then in here, flight level 180 and 0 feet landing altitude. Left igniter to be used. And flight directors on. Initial climb at Dusseldorf is 5000. So let's pre-select 5001. And we'll go for 0 on the speed. Okay, fuel used, 1400 kilos on the flight over. Makes me really wonder why we've got so much fuel planned for the return trip, but that's fine. Okay, let's tune on-site VORs here, 1515 Dusseldorf VOR, and that is going to go active like that. Alright, perfect, so we are pretty much set up. Let's go ahead and select the MFRA, that's going to be 1200 on our departure today. Here we go, 1200. Alright, so, waiting for 2 things. First of all, cargo loading needs to complete, because otherwise the fuel truck just doesn't fit within the vicinity of the airplane. So, we need to do that first. And then, when the cargo is loaded, but they should be done in a few moments, then we can get the fuel truck. So this is how a quick turnaround is going to work, my friends. And Philip Medicus, what turbulence settings are you using? I believe it is medium right now. And Fox Bravo Tango Sierra Charlie, purpose of the 5001 on the transition altitude is basically that VNAV doesn't level off at flight level 50. So if you're flying in VNAV and you've got a QNH of 1002 today, and if you then level off at a 5000 restriction in the FMS, which we are going to insert like that. So now VNAV would level off at flight level 50 because it thinks 5000. Let's put that as transition altitude and I'm going to show you. And now this becomes flight level 50. But since 5000 is still an altitude and the QNH is different by approximately 11 hectopascals, that's 300 feet, that means the airplane would actually level off at 4,700 rather than 5,000 in VNAV. For that reason, if we set 5001, then we are going to level off at altitude 5,000 versus flight level 50. That's the reason we're doing this. Okay, cool. So fuel truck arrival is already ordered. The deboarding is almost complete. 87 passengers on the way back. I don't think we'll need any cleaning or stuff like that. Our cabin crew can do that for us. So let's go ahead and start the boarding straight away. After all, we want to get going. Alright, so are you ready for the departure briefing? Threats for the departure. Wind shear is a possibility here, so let's go over the wind shear escape maneuver real quick. If any wind shear warning sounds, press toga, pitch to 15 degrees and firewall the thrust levers. Thereafter we're going to follow the flight directors. Make sure the speed brakes are retracted and otherwise we are not going to change any configuration. Now, we've got a very early right-hand turn over here. Depending on where we are, I might just keep going straight ahead until we're out of wind shear and then start the right-hand turn. If that happens, we'll have to advise air traffic control. And that's pretty much it. Once we're out of the wind shear, reduce the thrust to make that about 85%. With a very light airplane like we are, and that should be all. So, let's go ahead with the route check then. Alright, so Echo Delta Delta Lima to Echo Hotel Alpha Mike, KLM 35 Golf, and the routing is via SONAP, Papa 55, Reckon arrival, ground distance 141 versus 167, that's because our arrival in the FMS is a little bit longer. 3.7 tons remaining versus 2.4 required. Okay then. Using reserve fuel is checked. Alright, so it's going to be a left seat takeoff once again. Flaps 1, noise abatement procedure 2 with the buck up at 1500 feet. UTC time 12:55, altimeter 1002, reading 120, and the MFRA is going to be 1200. Flight directors are on, minus master, standby instruments set. Emergencies as briefed, and for the taxi out, pushback onto, well, most likely into the bay over here, and then taxi straight out Papa 4, Mike, and we'll take Lima 3 figures over here. Departure is the SONAP 7 Tango departure, got that on a chart over here. Transition altitude 5000, and in the FMC it's 5001. Remain on tower frequency until passing 2000 and contact Langradar, and that's probably going to be 128.555 again. I don't think 121.355 is online, but we'll see. Speed restriction 250 below flight level 100, and if we can't do it like that, then we're just going to override that in here. Then we know it's in... Oh, that should work. That's a bug. That's a bug over here. Okay, anyway, that's in. Alright then, cool. For the routing, straight at Delta Lima 230 above 600 feet, right turn Delta Lima 235, max 190 knots, and I put the stop altitude in here. Then we continue via Delta Lima 246, again, maximum 190 knots. Actually, no, that's not for our departure, that's the 3 hotel departure. For us, it's Delta Lima 248, and there is no speed restriction over there. Thereafter, it's going to be 359 track, 14 miles to Aircom, and then 005, 14.4, Delta Lima 245, above flight level 140, and then same track, 10 miles towards SONAP. Any questions on that? No? Very good. Then that's the departure briefing completed. So, fuel truck is in position, start the refueling, please. And in the meantime, yeah, let's go ahead and listen to the ATC.
Gusts up to 28 knots. Cab OK. Temperature 2.14. QNH 1002. Trend temporary. Wind 210 degrees 20 knots. Moderate rain attention. Departure frequency for all departing aircraft is long and radar on. 121.355. Dusseldorf Information Hotel. Out.
Okay, Information Hotel.
Met report time 1920 Zulu. Automated weather message. Expect vectors for ILS approach runway 23 left. Runways in use 23 left. Transition level 70. Wind 210 degrees 17 knots, gusts up to 28 knots.
Okay, thanks. We've heard what we wanted to hear. Dusseldorf Tower, good evening again. KLM 35 Golf Information Hotel, request clearance to Amsterdam.
KLM 35 Golf, Dusseldorf Tower, good evening. Information Hotel is current cleared Amsterdam. SONAP 7 Tango departure. Left hand route, climb by 5,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
KLM 35 Golf is cleared to Amsterdam via SONAP 7 Tango departure, flight plan route, climb by SID 5000, squawk 1000.
KLM 35 Golf, read by correct, and report ready for startup.
Wilco, KLM 35 Golf. Alright, so climbing 5000 on the squawk 1000. Very good. And the SONAP 7 Tango departure is what we've got in here as well. Alright, cool. So that's done. Passengers are all on board. Let's set that parking brake. Okay, so all that stuff is done. Refueling is done as well. Very good. Then, starting the APU. Let's say hello to the passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, very good evening from Flightdeck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of KLM, I would like to welcome you all on board our... Roger. He just sent me a text message accidentally. Disregarding. So, let's try that PA again. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you're captain again. My apologies, we got interrupted by a traffic control. My name is Emmanuel, and I would like to welcome you very much on board this KLM flight to Amsterdam. The flight time today approximately 30 minutes. We do expect a smooth flight at 18,000 feet. We would like to say thank you very much for being our guests today. Now do sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. The cabin crew is shortly going to start the safety demonstration. That is not just for your own safety, but also for the safety of the people sitting around you, so I would like to ask you to pay your full attention. Once again, thank you very much, and welcome aboard.
Bravo 421.
Alright, passengers are catered. Let's do the transit before start checklist. Gear pins, 1, 2, 3 removed. Oxygen test 100%, yaw damper on, fuel 4,700 required, 5,000 on board, 4 pumps on. Cabin utility IFE galley power on, emergency exit lights armed, fast melts on, window wheel on, air cannon press, PAX auto bleeds on and set, press mode selector auto, instruments cross-checked, auto brakes RTO, speed brake, down hand, parking brake set, start and cutout switch is normal, radius, radar and transponder set and standby, radar and aileron trims 3 and 0, takeoff briefing discussed, PA complete, holding at FMC CDU. So, boarding and everything is done, let's go ahead and do our performance. So we're at 47.0 now, 900 kilos down, it's 52 tons takeoff weight. That's going to be 20k takeoff, and we'll take 60 degrees... No, actually we've got the crosswind more than 10 knots, so it's just going to be 20k. Flaps 1, and that's a trim of 5.5 units. Wet runway up here, and then we have speeds 13, 21, 28. 5.5, and that's gonna be 128 up here. Perfect. Okay, so the APU generator is online, then you guys can disconnect everything. Doors closed and shocks removed. Very good. Alright, cool. Continue with the checklist. FMC CDU set, M1 and IS bucks, automatic, reduced 20k, speeds 13, 21, 28 set. Stop trim 5.5 set, performance weight and balance, sign send, phones off, EFB, airplane mode stowed, flight windows cockpit door locked, doors closed, passengers are seated, B4, start checklist complete down to the line. KLM 35 Golf stand Bravo 9er, request pushback and startup. KLM 35 Golf, stand Bravo 9er, request pushback and startup.
KLM 35 Golf, push and start is approved. 1 to Papa 4, face north.
Push and start approved, Papa 4, face north, KLM 35 Golf. Before start checklist below the line, air compacts off, anti-collision light on, parking brake set, transponder out off, before start checklist complete. Okay then, continue push, so that's on to Papa 4, face north. Parking brake released. Master caution, air conditioning, dual bleed associated. Alright, 21 minutes since we vacated the runway. I do call that a good turnaround. And here we go. Alright, I don't think we'll need the Navigraph charts for the departure, so I'm just going to get that away. Looks a little bit nicer, doesn't it? Alright, very good turnaround, I have to say. Like 20 minutes or so, really a very good turnaround. And Deem, why are we using flaps 1? Is asking in the chat. So, main reason for using flaps 5 on these larger 737s is the tail clearance. Now, on the 800 and 900, flaps 5 gives you about 50 centimeters tail clearance, while flaps 1 gives you 30 centimeters. However, on the 737-700, you've got about a meter tail clearance even with flap 1, so we don't need to worry about tail strikes here, and flaps 1 is just going to give us better takeoff performance overall. Also, it's going to give us better wind shear escape performance, since the airplane will have less drag, and for that reason, flaps 1 is our preferred setting for takeoff on the 737-700. By the way, look at that Lufthansa coming in over there, coming out of the mist. That looks really amazing, doesn't it? The graphics in the simulator are so cool. Alright, we're clear of the gate area, pushing onto Papa 4 though. So basically we are pushing like onto here. That's where we are going. Alright, starting engine 2. As you can see, I delayed my engine start a little bit because of the long taxi route. Otherwise we would just be standing with the engines running for a long time, and that's a little bit of a waste of fuel there. Okay, and 2, all pressure, and 1. Okay, new QNH 1002, we've got that anyway. And Ryan Malzon, why don't 737s use flap 2? You do use them, but it's really only in the descent, you know? The 800 flap 2 is a rather sweet setting in case you need to fly 180 knots. Okay, start a cutout, monitor 2, starting 1. So, flap, you know, the flap 1 speed is normally around 185 or so. So flaps 2 provides a little bit less drag than flaps 5 would, because the flap 5 speed is 165 then, so 20 knots less than flap 1 speed, while the flap 2 speed is 8 knots less. So provides a little bit less drag. N2, all press, N1.
Hello sir, this is Mike Alpha, is it safe?
What 1 Mike Alpha, this is Tower. Good evening, Q4.
Thank you.
Okay, engines are starting up. Starter cutout, monitor 1. Number 1 is stable. Oh boy, we forgot to set the park and brake, so GSX is going to take a minute now. Well, I'm just going to run the procedure here. I don't want to wait for GSX. Okay, we'll do the flight control check except for the rudder already. Full up, full down, full left, full right, neutral. Just waiting for the rudder until the ground equipment is removed. Okay then, before taxi checklist down to flight controls. Generators on, APU off, start switches continuous, probe heat on, anti-ice off, air conditioning, PAX auto bleeds on, isolation off, auto, flaps. That's 1 required, 1 selected, and a green light. Step trim, 5.5 required and set, starting with idle descent. Okay, so, the ground is removed, then rudder check. Full left, full right, neutral. Okay, complete the checklist, flight controls check, recall check, before taxi checklist complete. So, just waiting for the ramp agent now.
About 1 Mike Alpha.
There she comes. Alright then, let's request taxi. KLM 35 Golf, request taxi.
Is it Bradford or something else?
Okay, the pin is seen, perfect. KLM 35 Golf, request taxi. Alright, thank you, bye bye. KLM 35 Golf, request taxi. What's going on there? KLM 35 Golf, radio check.
211 runway 23 left via Papa 4, Mike Lima 1.
Taxi on point 23 left, Papa 4, Mike Lima 1, KLM 35 Golf. Alright. Config? Checked.
Jo, gerne, danke fürs Fliegen, ciao.
So, straight ahead onto the main taxiway and then to the right, all the way to the full length.
Tower, 7 wings, Echo Island, Roger, we can see that.
Larsen, do I use the default sensitivity for the rudder and the flight controls? Yes, I do. Haven't changed anything.
2 knots, crossing 3 knots, runway 23 left, cleared to land.
Runway 23 left, clear to land, oil wing,
Dusseldorf Tower, Silberbrau 421, ready for
Hi Madeline, nice to see you in the chat.
Silberbrau 421.
Nice to have you chime in.
Runway 23 left. Yeah.
I know the live stream was a little bit on the short notice, but what's that? Is that guy reversing out of his stand? No, he stopped the reverses. Interesting. Did he really do a power back with an A330 there? You're absolutely not meant to do that, even though the engines are probably strong enough to do it. But believe me, the moment you start braking, the plane is just gonna tipple over to the back.
KLM 35 Golf, Dusseldorf Tower radio check.
Radio 5, KLM 35 Golf.
KLM 35 Golf, roger. Please there's been an internet connection issue with me then.
Roger, no problem. Alright, so that's the reason why he sometimes doesn't respond to our calls, it seems then. All happens. Okay, so, taxi checklist, that's Airbus. Before takeoff checklist down to the line. Config checked, flaps 1 green light, step trim 5.5 set. Takeoff briefing, left seat takeoff, runway 23 left, flaps 1, noise abatement procedure 2 with a backup at 1500. And the takeoff speeds are 113, 121, 128. Sit straight at, pretty much an immediate right turn at Delta Lima 230, and we have a 190 knot restriction on that one, so let's quickly see if we're able to retract the flaps with that. In case you're wondering how you can find out, it's quite easy. If you go into the approach page, so index then approach, and then you look at the speed over there. You take the flap 40 reference speed plus 70 knots, and that's going to be your flaps 1 reference speed. In other words, 193 today. Now, that means 3 knots faster than the speed limit of 190. I tell you honestly, we might as well retract the flaps completely then. Those 3 knots really don't matter. I mean, the plane doesn't fly that accurately anyway. Alright, so we can retract the flaps completely. In case of engine failure, we proceed on the runway track to 6 Dusseldorf, which is tuned active on both VORs, and then make a right and turn to Lima NDB. And we might as well quickly tune that, so 311. Alright, so straight at 60 Dusseldorf, right turn Lima NDB, and climbing 3000, that keeps us safe above the MSA of 2800. Any questions? Alright, cabin secure, B4 takeoff checklist complete. KLM 35 Golf, ready for departure, able Lima 3.
KLM 35 Golf, number 3 in sequence, number 3, correction, Lima 3 is available.
Or we'll go full length, KLM 35 Golf.
Roger.
Okay, as number 3 in sequence, there is absolutely no use to go to the intersection. We would just sacrifice runway length, but if it does not expedite our departure, then, you know, then you just don't need to take that intersection either. I'm just going to cheat a little bit here, check the TCAS. Okay, so he's 3 miles out, no way we can get out in front. He's probably going to go into a go-around because that is becoming 2.5 miles now. So I suppose it's going to be our turn behind him.
KLM 5, correction 5470.
That's somewhat what I would expect to happen. So this is 2.5 miles now. On that, in real life that might work, but look at that, he's getting inside.
38 Romeo India, go around. Say again, go on.
Yep, there comes the go around instruction because he's getting too close behind the other guy.
Go around,
I suppose we can as well expect the line of clearance then.
Triple 38 Romeo India, climb now, traffic information 2 miles ahead, IFR traffic.
Yeah, climb now after a go around is something you should never do as ATC. because the pilot will know how to execute their go around, and forcing them into rushing it is a recipe for disaster. So you got to be very careful with that. You shouldn't do that as air traffic controller. And Metal Eye, wonder why VATSIM didn't give the second aircraft vectors off the runway and then back to get more distance. Oh, the other guy's going around as well! Whoopsie! Nice!
Eurowings 25 Echo, stop climb 3000 feet, turn left heading 220.
Stop climb 3000 feet, turn left.
Interesting, why does he give the Eurowings different go-around instructions? Like, I would have expected to do it on the aircraft behind.
For separation, turn now right heading 270.
But he's vectoring them away from one another, that's very good.
Right there.
Let's monitor that on the TCAS. So here's the first go-around, here's the second.
West 38 Romeo India, report assigned heading and altitude to Langen radar, frequency 128.
Here we can see them. That's the first guy, that's the Eurowings going off to the left now. And that's the second guy going off to the right. Now, the controller could have done a little bit smoother solution. You know, now when the Eurowings went around, he had to tell the Eurowings crew to level off in 3000 exactly when they were busiest on the go-round. So they were just about pulling up, and then they got instructions from ATC. That could have been solved a little bit nicer when the following guy got the go-around clearance. Then the Eurowings ahead should have gotten something like, in case of go-around, climb 3000 feet. That would have made the whole thing a little bit smoother, because then they would have known what to expect, and therefore they would have been able to, you know, fly the go-around procedure a little bit smoother.
128 decimal 5.
128 decimal 5 for the wing. Sorry.
And Metal Eye, yeah, I know exactly what you meant. First, they could have given them a little bit more delay on the departure. However, the reason they probably didn't, is because they had like just less than 2.5 miles. Now 2.5 is the minimum they can do at Dusseldorf. So I would have somewhat expected that they could, I would have somewhat expected that they could just reduce the speed of the following aircraft a little bit earlier. KLM 35 Golf, line up 25 left. Okay, before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP, set, transponder, Tara, strobe lights on, holding at landing lights.
Dusseldorf Tower,
Right, there's a guy like 6 miles out, that's not going to be a problem for us.
11 Alpha, good evening.
Interesting, do you see those graphic artifacts here on the runway when the wiper is moving along? That's certainly not supposed to be. I would call that a bug.
Player 11 Alpha, negative. One departure ahead.
Oh, interesting. That is full tiller input you see of me right now. The plane isn't moving.
Brake, KLM 35 Golf. Wind 220 please. Runway 2 to the left. Clear for takeoff. Nice size here.
Runway 2 to the left, clear for takeoff. KLM 35 Golf. Thank you very much for waiting. Good evening. Okay, landing lights on before takeoff checks complete. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. Checked.
11 Alpha, negative. One departure ahead. That's it.
Gear up.
Last station calling, please confirm your call sign.
Look at that radar climb. Lovely.
European 1 Mike Alpha.
Hey, Elnav. Command A. 25 degrees pitch. It's about time to pitch down. Okay, buck up.
Wind 220 degrees, looking up. Gusting 3 knots. On the way to Pendular. Still land.
128 555.
Then on Honeycomb.
Ah, okay.
Flaps up. Speed check. Flaps up.
Roger, we will descend flight level 100.
Vertical
and as
speed.
Barman is not on the transition itself, can you give it a direct to go on to the transition do not proceed? That's not the drive.
Direct Delta Lima 405.
Direct Delta Lima 405 for the do not proceed transition.
Okay, flaps up, no light. Maintain QNH for now.
Going 7 Kilo Alpha. Correction. Going 7 Kilo Hotel. Yeah?
Langradar, guten Abend. KLM 35 Golf, passing 4,000, climbing 5,000.
KLM 35 Golf, Langradar, identified, and welcome back. Climb by sit to flight level 16.
Climb by sit, level 160, KLM 35 Golf.
Echo Foxtrot, contact to the tower, 118.
Set. 160 checked.
118
VNAV. Set standard. Standard cross check, passing level 47 now. After takeoff checklist. Aircon and press, 2.2, maintaining, and set. Again, I'm going to keep the start switches on because... Well, actually, we're not in the rain right now, so let's turn them off. Altimeters, standard set, after takeoff checklist complete. Definitely going to keep the cabin crew seated for now. Might be just that little bit too busy.
Right, 30 descent, 7,000 feet QNH, 102 low, 06, 7 kilo.
Ja, ich hab das
Was hier?
Look at that radar climb. Isn't that lovely? Unable 250 knots at R-tip. Yeah, that's fine. But I tell you what, we're gonna go climb 2 over here. Because we're just climbing so incredibly fast. I just want to tame the airplane a little bit. So, some direct would be nice. Maybe straight out to Vacuum VOR, something the likes.
Descending 7,000 feet, QNH 10.
Wow, that just looks impressive, doesn't it? Passing 10,000, climbing 16,000. 10 checks. Fuel is balanced. 4 pumps on, lights off, APU off, aircon and press, 4.6, maintaining set. Fast mode's on, and yeah, I tell you what, with that kind of weather, I'm gonna keep the cabin crew seated. So they all remain seated. Recall is checked, 1 to 1.5. Monitoring, 10 checks complete. KLM 35 Golf is level 160 final, or can we expect higher later? Roger. Okay, vertical speed. I have a feeling 160 is going to be final, but let's see about it. In the meantime, let's see if we can already receive the Amsterdam ATC. Should be 13298 if I'm not mistaken.
Here's a 3000 feet, 0 wegen 7 kilo.
Idle call sign only. Noise abatement and ATC 2 procedures shall be applied. Acknowledge information hotel.
Left heading 260, 0 wegen 7 kilo.
This is Skiffle Information Hotel.
1,000 to go.
Runway 18 right. Main
Landing runway 18 right.
Transition level 45. Wind 230 degrees. 18 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers. or more. Light showers of rain. Clouds. View at 1,600 feet. View at 2,000 feet. Towering cumulonimbus. Scattered 3,000 feet. Temperature 19. 2.17. QNH 990.
Left 200 left
Temporary.
correction, you're going 70 orders.
25 knots.
Okay, wow, that is some nice weather they have over in Amsterdam. The QNH dropped significantly since we started. It was 1003 when we started the stream. Now it's down to 908. That is not a good sign for the weather. But that's what they said on the ATC as well. Like, loads of rain, loads of gusts coming in, CBs near the field. I really didn't promise you too much. 125750 KLM 35 Golf. Thank you very much and see you next time. Tschüssi.
Amsterdam, good evening. Inbound, influence, flight level 130, Eurowings 984.
Okay, so reset MCP altitude. Well, not yet. So 18 right, that's what we have planned already.
Eurowings 984.
Gonna be 250 below 100.
Climb flight level 250, Eurowings 984. JetX 356, climb flight level
998, transition level 45. Amsterdam, good evening, KLM 35 Golf, flight level 160.
KLM Golf, climb flight level 180, you're cleared Reckon to Alpha arrival, expect runway 18 right.
Climb level 180, cleared Reckon to Alpha arrival, expect 18 right, KLM 35 Golf. Set, 180 check,
direct to RTIP, after RTIP back to Payful.
I'm gonna go straight to vertical speed here. 2000 feet a minute. And tell you what, engine anti-ice on.
What was the star for Lufthansa 8 Tango Foxtrot?
Okay, cabin crew is released. I don't think it's gonna be too bumpy over here for now. So they can do at least a very quick drink service. Right, 1000 to go. Cool, then we can start with our setup straight away. Again, I'm gonna leave the winds out. They're mostly coming from the side. And runway 18 right. So that's gonna be 56, 10 and 5 miles again.
Proceed back to river and after river back to
And we're gonna need some charts.
Cam 6 to Echo, proceed back to river, after river back to Sierra Papa Lima. Proceed direct river and after river Sierra Papa Lima. Okay, 6 to Echo. Guitar 120, turn left in 240.
So 18 right, that's gonna be that one, and finally we need taxi chart as well. VNAV.
Guitar 120, turn left in 240, descend 5.
Right, where's the parking stands? Here they are. Perfect. Alright, cool, so 18 right, 182 and 101.
Turn left heading 240, descend 5 to volt 70.
Okay, 182, then 1101 going active, and 1101
uniform, contact triple approach
going active.
055.
Alright, the minimum's 187.
Lufthansa 8 Tango Foxtrot, descend 5 to volt 100.
And then we can already start the approach briefing. You see, these very short flights are quite busy, however they are also rather handleable. Or handleable? Whatever that correct word is. However, it does require that the crew is somewhat proficient, so I wouldn't want to do one of these flights here as a training flight for a cadet doing their first couple of sectors. That might end rather bad.
Firm. JetBlue 46 is maintain normal speed.
So, we are in VMC, engine anti-ice off.
En het Transavia 5193, frequency change approved, toevlucht.
And tell you what, wheel lights can go off as well. If we've got any stowaway down there, I do not suspect that we need to give them any lights. Okay, cool, then, are you ready for the approach briefing? So, threats for the arrival. We've got the weather on the approach once again, but I don't anticipate that to be too much of a problem, so we'll just keep it straight at that. We briefed the wind shear escape maneuver 2 times already today, and that is definitely sufficient. Okay then, so in the FMS we've got 250 below 100, forecast page, we've got QNH and transition level in disregarding the winds. Then, what else do we have? Fixed rings from 18 right, 10 miles, 5 miles. And for the arrival, we are on the Reckon 1 Alpha arrival, that's on the chart down here. Reckon below level 180 towards Oskur and then RTIP, RTIP 250 knots below 100 and level 70. From RTIP, probably going to go to Sierra Papa Lima, and that is pretty much what we have in here, and then we'll just have to see. We've got the standard approach transition in here via Alpha Mike 240, 241, 242, and then Pavos, and then Alpha Mike 621, 622, and the runway, but we'll see what we're going to get. I'm not 100% sure yet. In case of missed approach, turn right, max 220 knots as soon as practical, but not below 500 feet to Alpha Mike 624, and do not overshoot radial 240 Sierra Papa Lima. So what we'll do for that, we'll take Sierra Papa Lima, and then a 240 radial. Just as a little indication for us that we must not overshoot that radial. The reason for that, by the way, is the departures of runway 24 down here. So here's runway 24, and they're departing into that direction, so we must not overshoot this, so that we don't get into conflicts with the departures out of runway 24. Very important over here. That's probably going to be the main threat for the arrival today. Alright, so 3.5 tons on the arrival versus 2.4 required, so that's like 1,000 kilos extra. That is easily, yeah, half an hour at this weight. Alright. So that's pretty much it. Let's see, we're going to burn 500 kilos. That's a landing weight of 50.5. Now that is still taking into consideration the slightly longer arrival here, but I do suppose that we'll end up with a little bit of delay vectors as well. Right, flaps 30 landing, auto brakes 1, and that gets us off the first exit at Victor 3, I believe. Yeah, no, Victor 1 up here. If they give us long rollout, then we'll let it roll to Victor 3, but we'll see about that. Okay, and that's it. Any questions? No? Very good.
35 Golf direct RTIP, descent flight level 70.
Okay, then 35 Golf direct RTIP, descent flight level 70.
DC 2525 going triple approach, 119, decimal 055.
Set and direct RTIP.
Okay, 6 Echo going triple approach, 119, decimal 055.
Okay, top of descent in 3 miles. I'll tell you what, he seems quite busy, the airspace is quite busy, so let's just initiate the descent straight away without asking him. Okay then, so, descent checklist. Pressurization, land out 0, anti-ice off, approach briefing fuel, discussed IS and Alpax, flaps 3142, mins, Barrow 187, checked and set. Descent checklist complete.
Speed 250 knots, 8 Tango Foxtrot. Lufthansa Expression Cannon 96 Bravo, turn left heading 180.
Alright, so Metalite, 23.99 donation, thank you so much. For the love, can you review Sky Catslab's Copilot add-on for the PNDG? Here's the money for it. Well, I can.
JetBlue 46, descent flight level 70, after river, direct Sierra Papa Lima.
And Kivo G, great ATC in the title, bold move Cotton. I tell you honestly, they've been pretty good today.
Amsterdam approach suitable 421, inspect level 160.
So Bravo 421, hello, clear.
And Forrest, getting close to the girlfriend 2-hour deadline now. Yeah, you're right, but we'll make it. We'll make it. We'll convince her.
Romeo,
Romeo Q November 2 Alpha, oh, you're disconnected. Break. Lufthansa 8 Tango Foxtrot, turn left heading 230.
Wow, that looks lovely, doesn't it? That looks really lovely.
Heading left 230. Itara 1 to 0, got a triple approach, 119, decimal 055.
overall the weather has turned pretty nice now. But I tell you what, once we're down there, you can already see those CBs from the ATC over here. So I'm pretty sure it's only going to be very nice for a very short period in time over here.
Sliding 330 due to traffic.
Okay, quick alert to the cabin crew that we're 15 minutes from landing.
Level 120. Inbound Evelyn.
Lufthansa 8 Tango Foxtrot sliding 330 due to traffic. 330 traffic. Turkish 1 Echo Mike, climb flight level 250.
Wow, they do still seem very busy at this time.
There's 8 for Bravo, descend flight level 70.
I just hope that they are not getting pissed off by the traffic again today.
After Artit, back to Sierra Papa, question after Artit, back to Pavos, Papa, Echo, Victor, Oscar, Sierra.
KLM 35 Golf, Artip Pavos. Alright, that's even better.
Bravo, descend flight level 120.
So, Artip Pavos. And that's in.
Alpine 58 Delta, turn left heading 230. JetBlue 46, connect triple approach 119er, decimal 055.
Interesting. Why are we now below the profile? I mean, yes, we are below the profile, I can tell you that. But the question is, why did it recalculate now? That didn't seem to make much sense to me. Well,
for Bravo, after
so be it.
Back to Pavos, Papa, Echo, Victor, Oscar, Sierra.
Frontisac, hi Manuel, for the departure of Lovis, do you tune the ILS frequencies of the departing runway? Yes, absolutely. That is a must. When you're taking off in Lovis, you must tune the ILS frequency of the runway if one is available.
Left heading 230. 230 for Lufthansa 8 Tango Foxtrot.
Manuel Diaz, is my girlfriend more or less demanding than a turnaround of the famous European low cost? Let's see. She's not in range of sight right now. Nah, honestly, it's alright. It's alright. Nothing's worse than a 25-minute turnaround, I can tell you that.
Alpine 5 Delta, resume identification, direct Artit.
Kivo, very good question. What is my preference in MCPs? Well, in real life I like the new one a lot better. In the simulation, both are kinda fine. Now what is the difference? Well, this one here has a lot less resistance on the knobs. So when you're turning a knob on here, you can easily turn it far too much. 119.055, KLM 35 Golf, see ya.
Sorry, Mike Alpha Echo X-ray for the waiting. The startup is approved. Information hotel and the QNH 998 expected. Pascal, report ready for taxi.
Startup approved and reported taxi Mike Echo, sir.
Skipper approach KLM 35 Golf.
KLM 35 Golf, follow information hotel, vectors ILS approach runway 18 right, descent flight level 45.
Hotel on board, vectors ILS 1 at right, descent level 45, KLM 35 Golf. Set, 4,500 checked. Alright, so yeah, main difference, in real life, this one has less resistance on the knobs, so it is much easier to overturn, while on the other one, for every single click that you rotate, you're just getting 1 degree. So, the other one, in my opinion, is more precise to set, and that is the reason I prefer the Collins over the Honeywell. Okay then, passing 10,000, speed should be coming down now, and the 10 checks please. Fuel is balanced with 4 pumps on, lights are on, angular bank 25, aircon and press, that's 4.4, maintaining set, fast modes on, recall, checked, and 1 to 1.5 is deselected, 10 checks complete. Right, let's go level change. I just want my speed to get back precisely towards 250. Not sure how much traffic there still is at this time, but if it's by any means as busy as it used to be on our departure, then I want to fly those speeds precisely today. but we're going to do vertical speed here with something like 700 feet a minute. We'll try to make the CDA as good as we can, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Echo descent 3000 feet, QNH 997 hectopascal.
3000 feet and 997 hectopascal.
Victor Papa, Bravo Juliet Delta, Hado identified, cluster level 130.
Okay, so, did we forget anything? I don't think we did. No, I think we're fine. Beautiful, isn't it? Really beautiful.
EVA 671 identified, cluster level 130. Identified, cluster level 130.
Alright man, finally a little bit of time to relax here. I've basically been talking for 2 hours straight, have I? Okay, that's gonna be a tower, I believe. 118405, might as well pre-select that. There you go, 11845. So let's update the direct to Pezos, or Pevos. Whenever you update a direct, the plane is going to take the current wind into consideration for the VNAV path, and then going to recalculate the VNAV path. You can see how we've basically been on path before the direct, but when I inserted the direct, you can see we're now 2,000 feet low. With 15 knots of headwind, that does make sense. 118.405, KLM 35 Golf, goodbye.
Bravo Lima to left heading 210, clear to LS, approach to runway 18 right.
Left heading 210 and clear to LS, approach runway 18 right, 6
Arrival KLM 35 Golf.
62 Echo, speed 180 knots, turn right heading 120.
Right, 120 and 180 knots, KLM 6 Echo.
Is 2525, contact tower, 109 at 2 clear.
Well, that's a little bit bright for my taste. Arrival KLM 35 Golf.
150 cleared, it's at the localizer on my 1 train.
150 is at localizer on my KLM 6 Echo.
Sierra 120, descent 2000 feet.
He is busy. I wonder if we can get a call in eventually.
Descending 2000, Canadian 1017. Right.
QNH 997 hectopascal.
997 now.
Read back please. QNH 997 hectopascal.
Come on, do your read back.
Blue 460 and 3000 feet.
No,
QNH
okay.
997 hectopascal.
Blue 460 descending 3000 feet, QNH 997.
KLM 35 Golf.
35 Golf, number short. 6 Echo descent 2000 feet, clear to Alice, approach runway 18 right.
Alright, well, I'm not gonna complain. For any minute that I fly faster to the FAF.
Sierra 120, turn left heading 210, clear to Alice, approach runway 18 right.
Most importantly here, now that he told us to stand by, now it's up to him to call us, and not the other way around anymore. Keep in mind the definition of standby, which basically means wait and I will call you. That is what the AIP says for the phrase standby. So, for now, we are just going to continue exactly as cleared. And then he will eventually call us.
6 Bravo Lima, speed is yours. 6 Echo, speed 160.
Speed 160, not still 6 Echo.
35 Golf, hello, speed 230.
230 KLM 35 Golf.
Blue 460, 2000.
Level change. So when you get restrictions like that, and you are making use of VNAV, then make sure that you always enter them in here as well, so that the VNAV path is recalculated.
Not yet, ATR 160.
Say again?
Man, this looks like we might actually get straight in. There is one more guy over there on the other side. This one. Oh, too bad. Right in 310 KLM 310 Golf. 35 Golf. Okay, vertical speed. And the heading 310. Too bad, but that is not going to be a long delay. That's probably him in first and then us second.
You're not in the localizer and you're not descending. Turn left heading 170 to set the localizer and descend 2000 feet now.
Okay, extended center line. 500 to go.
We're sending now 2000 feet, ATR 120.
Yeah, look at that. This is probably the Itaro, which is much too high now. He's the same altitude we are, which is about 4,000 feet or so. Well, 4,500 at 8 miles. No way he can make that. This is a go-around for sure.
Okay, 6 Echo, what did you stand approach?
Final approach, 6 Echo.
6 Echo, contact tower 119 at 223.
119 at 223, 6 Echo.
ATR 120, reduce final approach speed.
That Itaro has no way to reduce speed now. He's screwed. KLM 35 Golf descent 2000 QNH 997. Okay, set 2000 checked. Set altimeter 997. Passing 4100. Stand by altimeter set and no flags. Okay then, first check. Frequencies 110.1 set. Active nav 1, nav 2. Rings. Left 210, intercept localizer 18 right, KLM 35 Golf. Okay, so rings, runway 18 right, 10 miles, 5 miles. Items. Victor Papa Bravo. Standby instruments set, courses 182. Approach checklist. Items, instruments, cross checked, approach rates, checked and set, approach checklist complete. Okay, 119.230, we can pre-select that. Okay, good indications. Warlock armed. Warlock captured. Runway heading 182 set. Cleared LS 18 right, KLM 35 Golf. Right, so last time they complained that we didn't fly the published speed, so this time we are going to fly it. Approach armed. No, that is a nuisance RA. TA only. This is nonsense. That is total nonsense. I have no idea why we're getting that. Reducing 180, KLM 35 Golf. That's one. Speed checked. Reducing final, that's going to be 125 knots, KLM 35 Golf. That's 5. I have a feeling we need to reduce quickly. Come on, autopilot, you stay in. Right, gear down, flaps 15. And that guy is getting up to us quickly. That's 3 nautical miles now. I don't want to run a go-around. My girlfriend's gonna kill me if the stream gets prolonged by that. So here we go. Flaps 30. And I tell you what, if they really need us to reduce... Come on, autopilot. I keep hitting the trim. But if he really needs us to reduce, let's go flaps 40.
The Blue 460 take out the traffic informed is not responding or at least not doing what we tell him. Contact tower 119, that's 230.
19230, bye-bye.
35 Golf, contact tower 119, that's 230.
119, that's well 230, KLM 35 Golf, see ya.
246, clear to land, 1 right, 230 degrees, 19 knots.
Okay, 230 at 19er, that's almost straight cross, so we don't need any extra. Glide lock capture. Go around altitude 2000 feet set. Skipper Tower, KLM 35 Golf, ILS 18 right.
KLM 35 Golf, roger.
Okay, landing checklist. Start switches, continuous, recall, checked, speed brake, armed, green light, landing gear down through green, auto brakes, 1 set, flaps 40, 40, green light, and holding at landing lights.
120, not established on the LS, request to go around for 18 right.
Oh boy, request a go around. No, just do it, my friend. Just do it.
0, roger, go around, 1 right.
Nice. That was lovely. Request a go around. No, don't go around. Continue the approach. You must land now.
Garo 120, climb 3000 feet, turn right heading 300. Climb 300 feet, turn 120. Climb 3000 feet, turn right heading 300. Right 300.
Okay then. Automatics off.
3000 right to be turn 120.
And just in case you're wondering, when we got the instruction to reduce to final approach speed, I told the air traffic controller what our final approach speed is going to be. Now that is not standard procedure to do, but the reason I did it is because 125 is very slow for a Boeing 737. They normally expect you at around 140 knots, so for that reason I reduced the speed toward, or for that reason, since our speed reduction was to an uncommonly slow speed, I told him what speed that would be. Now if it was 140 instead of 145 or something, I wouldn't care, but 125 is very slow, and that can, on a final like this, cause the succeeding airplane behind us to get too close. For that reason I told him about it, so that he can instruct the speeds accordingly for the succeeding traffic.
Jet 246, contact ground 121.805.
Okay, 500 continue.
500. KLM 35 Golf, 230 degrees, 100 knots, clear to land, 18 right.
18 right, clear land, KLM 35 Golf. Any chance to long rollout?
Negative.
Roger. Okay, so we'll vacate on the first taxiway, Victor 1.
Veiligheid for Bravo, hello, reduce final approach speed.
Approaching minimums.
Check.
Minimums.
Continue. Alright, speed brake up, thrust wheel is normal.
Down
100 knots.
65 information to the ready. Report departure 07.
KLM 925, 784, Sierra 7, takeoff, 230
80 knots.
190 knots.
Never takeoff, runway 24, KLM 925.
Manual brakes, auto brake disarm. 60 knots. And welcome to Schiphol.
Danish 8 for Bravo, 230 degrees, 19 knots, runway 18 right, clear to land.
So where is that Danish? How close is he?
KLM 35 Golf, contact ground 121.805.
121.805, KLM 35 Golf. Alright, nonetheless we'll let it go into the parallel taxiway here at first, and then we contact ground. Okay, so 121.805. Ground low, KLM 35 Golf.
KLM 35 Golf, welcome to Schiphol, taxi Charlie 18 via Quebec at Whiskey 13, cross runway 18 center.
Charlie 18 via Quebec at Whiskey 13, cross runway 18 center, KLM 35 Golf. Alright, so it's going to be the long way round.
Lufthansa 2 Echo Mike, you can enter the apron via Alpha 13.
Okay then, time to clean up.
Echo Mike entering apron via Alpha 13.
Lufthansa 6 Bravo Lima, you've turned right to Charlie, it's no problem, so continue all the way down to Quebec.
Okay, sorry for that. Continue all the way down to Quebec.
Alright, that's master caution, NTIs associated. Alright, I'll show you the taxi route in a moment. Let's just about turn over here, because we've got quite a bit to go, and if I take too long, then my girlfriend's certainly gonna kill me here for taking too long. Alright, so then let's have a very quick look into the taxi routing here. Yeah, lag for myself, please. Thank you. Alright, so we are clear to taxi. Onto Victor. At Whiskey 13, we're going to cross 18 center. On the other side, we go southbound on Delta, Bravo, Quebec, Bravo, and then we're going to search for Delta 5. Which is... oh, Delta 18, which is down here. Okay, so that is really the long way round. The very long way round. But let's take the tour. Flight Tampa did a great job on the airport, and with the 1.1 update, they fixed the Quebec taxiway as well, so...
KLM 6 to Echo, clear to cross runway 18 center, after that right Delta to the gate.
Alright, so we've got 3 minutes. I'm just accelerating the plane, and then we are going to go for single engine taxi. On this one you can really see how much fuel you can save with it. So that is 30 knots. Engine 2 shutdown.
And Danish 84 Bravo, stop at Pampa, I have a gate for you.
Okay, master caution, ELEC, source of 2 associated. We've got systems and brakes
Danish
normal.
84 Bravo, I have a gate for you, it's going to be Charlie 6, and you can taxi there via
recall.
Quebec at Whiskey 13, cross runway 18 center.
I don't know what it is. Sometimes, even though I'm not touching my left mouse key, it presses the recall, and then you get all of those lighting up. I really don't know why it's doing that, but that seems to be a bug in either the PMDG or the view system of the simulator, I don't know.
Lufthansa 6 Bravo Lima, after Quebec, continue on to Bravo.
Okay, here's Whiskey 13 and we're clear to cross.
121-705, bye-bye.
Slightly cutting the corner because I don't want to break down too much now. On single engine taxi you always have to watch your energy status a little bit, and I certainly don't want to slow down too much here. Right then, clear to cross. Strobe light on. Master caution, hydraulic, low pressure engine 2 associated with the engine shutdown. G Walker, £4.99 donation. Thanks for the great stream. Was fun as always. Thank you very much, my friend. That is really appreciated. And I thought these ultra short haul flights, as we did them right now, were something different to what we usually do, as we usually take a little bit longer. Right, 15 knots for a turn like this. It is a 90-degree turn, but it's not one of those very close turns. So 15 knots is fine for me.
Bravo, Quebec.
Then we can already run the engine up in order to start accelerating again. Let's just hope that that guy over there is going to turn as he should, because I have a feeling he's going very slow. And I certainly don't want to be waiting for him for too long.
Alpine 58 Delta, rocket call taxi, hotel 3.
Okay, he's supposed to turn left now, into Alpha. Come on, start your left turn, please.
Alpine 58 Delta.
Start it. Come on, don't miss your taxiway, please. Please.
Alpine 58 Delta.
No, he missed it.
Your gate.
Oh no, that means we got a taxi behind him all the time. Ah, lovely. I was about to commend VATSIM pilots for being able to follow the standard taxiway system here in Amsterdam, for the most part, to a rather good extent. However, as always, show effect, when you do it on a live stream, then the guy in front of you goes the wrong way. It had to happen. I just hope that he's going to stay out of the way, so that we don't have to stop the airplane, because stopping while doing single engine taxi is not a good idea. It can work, but it needs a lot of thrust and time to get the airplane back moving. Alright, so we're going towards Quebec, that is pretty much towards the end. So down here, we keep going on Bravo, Bravo, and then cross the bullshit point down here, and then Alpha Fox, Quebec, and then we go left on Bravo again, going northbound, until we are all the way around.
And you can taxi Bravo 31 via Quebec at Whiskey 13 cross runway 18 center.
Alright, let's reduce our thrust a little bit.
31 via
So come on, my friend, just miss the next taxiway as well. Just keep going straight, please, then we've got clear space in front of us again. Okay, come on, keep going straight, don't turn left, please, keep going straight.
31 via Quebec.
Yes, he missed it.
51
very good.
And 18 center.
Oh no, he didn't. Okay, too bad. So what is it? KLM, I believe, in the SkyTeam livery. Okay. Alright, so we're going left over here and now on top of Quebec. Okay, let's add a bit of thrust going uphill over here. I don't want to lose too much energy. Oh, bye-bye. Down the ground he goes. So this is important. When you're doing single engine and you're going uphill or something the likes, be sure to add that thrust ahead of time so that you've got it available when you actually need it. That's like the most important thing to do. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I thought the 1.1 update fixed that. That is interesting.
I sent your taxi instructions via the comms chat.
I thought the 1.1 update was supposed to fix these kind of bugs. But looks like it didn't. Well, at least we're still rolling, so...
Taxi Charlie 14 via Quebec at Whiskey 13 cross runway 18 center.
Doc Trench, how hard is it to navigate around a well-illuminated airport at night? To be honest, normally it's easy. As long as it is well illuminated,
I will be with you shortly.
Things are easy to go. Because to be honest, in real life at night, when you are in real life, you can see everything at night. It's not like in the simulator.
Standby ground south 11705. Bye bye.
Stand by 11705, KLM 35 Golf. See ya. Okay, let's go straight over here.
Danish 84 Bravo, your taxi on Charlie.
Okay,
now
stand
is
by
on
121.705, he said.
Second left onto Alpha to the gate.
Yeah, correct. Second left on the helm.
Why is my plane moving?
Danish 84 Bravo, I mistake. Continue all the way down to Quebec.
Okay, that looks alright. So this is Alpha, we're cleared across that one. And then we're going to turn onto Bravo. And then start going northbound. So we basically follow the other KLM still. Alright, so from here let's swap onto the taxi chart. So our gate is Delta 18. That means, let's see.
KLM 35 Golf, good evening, taxi via Alpha 4.
KLM 35 Golf, very good evening, via Alpha 4. Alright, so being the Charlie gates, we're going to go left and then let's quickly verify Delta 18. No, Charlie 18, okay. So Alpha 4, Charlie 18 means we're going to go left, right on Alpha, left into Charlie 18. Alright, we can do that. That's Alpha 2 on our left over here. Then Charlie Pier, let's find 18, here it is. No mashallah needed. Okay, cool, so we are just looking for our Alpha 4, left, right, Charlie 18. Perfect. So that is Alpha 3 coming up over there, so we go one further. And then to the left.
One Tango Papa, request push and start, then Bravo 31.
West and 1 Tango Papa, good evening, pushback is set up approved.
Okay, so.
Setup is approved. Austrian 1 Tango Papa.
And Jaden Bennett, why is it daytime? Mostly because, you know, the majority of viewers doesn't like night flights. Something I noticed on a lot of my former live streams was when I've been streaming a nighttime flight, there were a lot less viewers than if I've been streaming a daytime flight. So for that reason, I have simply made it daytime, because you can kind of see the weather a little bit more, made it all a little bit more impressive, and people just seem to prefer it that way. And that's the reason why I made it daytime. To me personally, it doesn't matter too much whether we're flying day or night, but if the majority of users seem to prefer daytime, then that's what we're gonna do. Okay, starting APU. And obviously we could have turned that strobe light back off. Alright, over there is our gate. Alpha 4 is coming up over here, then we go left.
Goedenavond, KLM 17
over here.
Alpha 63, requesting push and start. First. KLM 35 Golf, Golf, hold position.
KLM 35 Golf, holding position. Oh no.
KLM 62 Echo, what gate were you assigned?
And that guy's going right into our gate.
Charlie 18.
KLM 35 Golf, what gate were you assigned?
Charlie 18, KLM 35 Golf.
That's interesting. KLM 35 Golf, taxi Charlie 16.
Taxi Charlie 16, KLM 35 Golf, and it's going to take a bit of time to get the plane rolling. We're on single engine. So
Yeah,
in the
okay,
left turn, we got to start.
It was KLM 73 Whiskey. Affirm.
Okay, let's reassign GSX,
Hello,
and now it's
Pushback
going to
is
be
approved.
interesting getting that thing
Push
going.
start approved, KLM 73 Whiskey.
So we got to gather a little bit of speed at first. In the meantime, Charlie 16.
At 247 Charlie, taxi on point Sierra 8.
So if we stop in the turn, then we're lost. Then we got to restart the engine. But this looks about alright. Yeah, 3 knots. Engine is running at the maximum we can. So Charlie 16 seems to be right in front over there. Yep, here it is. So in like this, and then a right-hand turn into the stand. Interesting. Okay, clear left side, clear right side. Lights going off, APU is available, and on the buses.
Neptune 247 Charlie, hold short Sierra 8, runway 24, contact
All
tower
right,
119,
thrust
that's
off.
230, bye bye.
Now making that turn is going to be interesting. Well, luckily we're in a 700, so we don't need to use too much oversteering here. Alright. So, the mashallah is inside in front over there. And here we go. Okay, here we are. So, parking brake set, 2 blue, 1 red, engines dead. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Thanks for controlling, guys. Great job.
Thanks for flying.
Okay, so we're going to do the full shutdown over here, because that is definitely going to be the last sector of the day. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be single tomorrow. And that means we don't need the voice recorder as well. Alright, so both engines below 20%. Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps, 1 on, electrical, APU, fast melts off, window heat off, probe heat off, anti-ice off, electric hydraulic pumps off, voice recorder auto, air compactor off, engine bleeds on, APU bleed off, exterior lights steady, start switches off, auto brake off, speed brake down attend, flaps up and light, parking brake set, start levers cut off, weather radar off, transponder 2 on standby, CBS CB in, cockpit door unlocked, shutdown checklist complete. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for today. I do absolutely hope that you have enjoyed this one. Now, let's quickly get rid of that GSX window over here. Alright, let's get rid of that. By the way, the real one, when you go into the menu and into a new system, it wouldn't give you the, it wouldn't retain what you had in the scratch pad. Just a small difference there between real life and PMDG. So yeah, some people do say that I don't point out the bugs in the PMDG. Well, I do when I come across them. It's not too many, but when it does happen, I do mention them. Alright, cool. Beautiful, isn't it? Just beautiful. Right guys, that's gonna be it for today. I do surely hope that you enjoyed this one. So, thank you very much. And then I see you all again on the next one. And in the meantime, enjoy your flights to Schiphol. I'll have a little flight coming up on the next couple of days, showing you some very interesting approaches in the Schiphol. Did you know there are a couple really interesting swingovers on the short final? I'm sure you're gonna love them. I'll have them up to you in the next couple of days, and then I see you all again straight on the next one. Thank you very much.